Today, David and I are going to talk about 401k rollovers. A lot of people have either changed jobs or lost their jobs and have old employer-sponsored plans with their previous employers and need some insight on what their options are.
Well, your options, Sean, are to distribute the assets. Most times that is the inappropriate course of action to take. Other options are to roll over the 401k into either your new employer's 401k plan or an IRA rollover.
So, David, if you were to distribute the assets, or in other words, just withdraw the assets and take the cash, what would the pros and cons be to doing that?
Well, the big negative is that you'd have to pay tax on the entire balance of the distribution. And if you're under age 59 and a half, you'd also have to pay penalties on that distribution. Generally speaking, unless you have an extreme need for the capital out of your 401k plan, that's not a good course of action.
Let's consider the alternative in rolling those assets into another plan. I'm an employee now with a new company. I have a new 401k plan. What would the benefits be of moving my old assets into the new plan?
Number one, you wouldn't have to pay tax on the distribution because you'd be rolling it over from one tax-deferred account to another tax-deferred account. That being said, generally I would expect an IRA rollover to be a better course of action. The two overriding reasons to roll over to your new company's 401k plan are, number one, simplicity. You'd be able to keep everything in one place so you wouldn't have multiple retirement accounts. Or number two, if you felt that you may have a need to borrow a balance of that 401k at some point in the future. 401ks allow you to borrow out up to 50% of your vested balance, up to $50,000. And pay interest to yourself. So it's actually kind of a win-win situation in that regard, if you do need to borrow money.
Which is a great point, because if you have the IRA rollover, you don't have the ability to take out a loan from that type of account.
That is correct.
And some of the cons with the 401k, however, is generally there are less investment options as you would have if you went the route of an IRA rollover. If we could switch gears here to the IRA rollover option, what are some of the pros and some of the cons to going that route?
Well, again, the overriding benefit is that you provide for the ongoing tax-deferred status of the account. It would not be a taxable event, so you wouldn't have to pay any taxes on the distribution to the IRA rollover. 401k plans tend to be very mutual fund based as far as options are concerned. IRA rollovers have a broader array of investment options. Plus, with 401k plans, you'll have a limited number of mutual funds that you can invest in. Some of them may not have real investor-friendly cost structures. Those are investment options that are available in an IRA rollover versus a 401k plan. One consideration in favoring a rollover of your old 401k plan into an IRA rollover is the need to get independent financial advice as far as the investment of that account. It's very difficult to get independent financial advice to advise you on how to invest your 401k plan, where it's very easy to engage the services of a firm like WheelerFrost Wealth Managers to assist you with your IRA rollover.
Now, one important thing to remember is that there is a difference between an IRA rollover and a contributory IRA. You cannot roll the contributory IRA into the 401k. You can roll an IRA rollover into a 401k plan.
That's why it may make sense to keep the IRA rollover segregated from your contributory IRA, just to preserve that option of rolling it over into a company-sponsored 401k plan.
If you have any questions or comments regarding your 401k, we would love to help you out. Please contact WheelerFrost Wealth Managers at 619-491-0225 or visit us at www.wheelerfrost.com.
Thank you very much for listening to our presentation. It's It's important to note that past performance is not a guarantee of future returns. Nothing presented in this presentation is or is intended to constitute investment advice, and no investment decision should be made based upon information provided in this presentation. While WheelerFrost has used reasonable efforts to obtain information from reliable sources, we make no representations or warranties as to the accuracy, reliability, or completeness of third-party information provided. Information provided reflects WheelerFrost's views at this particular time. Such views are subject to change at any point, and WheelerFrost shall not be obligated to provide notice of any change. Thank you once again.